So when the trailer first came out, I thought it was fantastic. I was super duper excited, but I got scared for a little bit because Apple just snatched the film from us because of all the controversy. And I was like, no, we're not going to be able to see the film. But they came to their senses, and here we are. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for The Banker. I really do appreciate it. And this is your first time finding me and you want more movie reviews from myself and you like this video, please consider subscribing and giving me that thumbs up because it helps me out a lot. The Banker is an Apple original film and it will be released in theaters and then shortly after release on their new streaming platform. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be getting the service myself, but maybe you should consider it. Now, this is being directed by Mr. George Norfie, and he has a little bit of experience in Hollywood. In 2011, he did The Adjustment Bureau that stars Anthony Mackie as well because he is the lead in this movie, as well as Matt Damon. Now, I love that movie. I thought it had a really cool concept and the execution was great, but that ending was I just really wasn't feeling that ending at all. And in 2016, he did Birth of the Dragon. It was a Bruce Lee story. And from the trailers, that movie didn't look good and it just wasn't good in my opinion. But hey, if you liked it, that's perfectly fine. But now we have The Banker, something that I was super duper excited about. Like I said in my intro, I mean, two black men trying to put together a bank, you know, taking white people's money and lending it to black people so they can start their own businesses, buy homes. I mean, my goodness gracious, you know, I would be all on top of that if you watch my channel. But what is this movie, The Banker, about exactly? Well, revolutionary businessman Bernard Garrett, Anthony Mackie, and Joe Morris, Samuel Jackson, devised an audacious and risky plan to take on the racist establishment of the 1960s by helping other African Americans pursue the American dream. Along with Garrett's wife, Eunice Nia Long, they trained a working-class white man, Matt Steiner, Nicholas Holt, to pose as the rich and privileged face of their burgeoning real estate and banking empire. While Garrett and Morris pose as a janitor and a chauffeur, their success ultimately draws the attention of the federal government, which threatens everything the four have built. Now, while that is an accurate synopsis of this movie, I will go ahead and say that there is a lot that's not revealed in the trailer as far as how this group of characters got started. And it was a surprise for me and something that I really did appreciate. Now, when we're going over to the characters, you know, we have Nia Long playing Eunice, Samuel Jackson playing Joe, and Anthony Mackie playing Bernard Garrett. Now, when it comes to Samuel Jackson, well, first of all, they all did a great job. I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. But when it comes to Samuel Jackson, in any film or piece of entertainment that he's ever been in, I've never really seen him do a bad job in anything. I mean, he's knocked it out of the park in every role he's fulfilled in Hollywood. Same thing here, but as he's fulfilling the role of Joe Morris, I can't necessarily say he was fulfilling that role. To me, he was just more of Samuel Jackson being Samuel Jackson. Now, I'm not saying he was dropping mother effer bombs or anything like that, but you did get a lot of that Samuel L. Jackson charisma, and that's what makes him great. But, you know, if you're expecting him to just kind of, you know, be a chameleon and be some other role or AKA Joe Morris, you may not get here. That's not a complaint. It's more Samuel Jackson, and I was still very entertained by that. But when it comes to Anthony Mackie, it was completely different. And I'll just go ahead and say that, you know, I saw some acting chops in him that I've never seen before. Now, when it comes to Anthony Mackie and all of his performances, you know, he goes back and forth from television and film, and it's spread over about 70 films. And I haven't seen every production that this man has been a part of, but in all of his work, he's not really a lead actor. He's more of a supporting role, probably had a lead role here and there. She Hates Me, Repentance. I think I hated the end of that movie, and a few others. But he really did stand out in this role. And I love this character and the way it was portrayed from the very beginning. George Norfie, as the director, did a great job of just showing this man, Bernard Garris, just determination and tenacity to get the job done and just try to become as smart as he can and make as much money as he can to, just come up in a world where racism and discrimination, just builds up a wall against you and everything is stacked against you. I mean, it really, in his performance, he really did show a range of his potential and how far he can go in Hollywood, not only as a supporting character, but a lead man. And I cannot wait for his future. Now, I don't want to overhype it too and just say that this is an Oscar-worthy performance, because it's not. I'm just got to be honest with you. But, as I was watching the movie, I was saying to myself, okay, Mr. Mackey, I see you, my brother. I see you, and I respect everything you got going on. I am rooting for you. And like I said, I can't wait to see everything that you have coming in the future. And that's the same thing with Nia Long as well, with, her being a wife, Eunice. I love the relationship that they had. I loved all the fighting and bickering that they had going on between each other in the marriage too. And just in real life, sometimes, I can't speak for everybody, but, sometimes when you look at some women, and they're taken off the dating board, they're married or in their relationship, you can kind of just look at them and say, okay, I can definitely see why someone scooped it up. I can definitely see why she's married and has a ring on her finger. And that's the first thing I said to myself when I saw Nia Long playing Eunice in this role. So, like I said, guys, all three of them did a great job. And I'm not going to leave out Mr. Nicholas Hoult, playing Matt Steiner. He did a great job too. And while this is a drama, there are a lot of comedic elements as well, especially between Bernard and Joe's character. I love the banter between the both of them, especially when they met at the very, very beginning of this film and how they were just trying to size each other up. Joe came across as just like, I think the line in the movie was an entitled circus clown, while Bernard was described as having a stick up his ass, the whole time. And as they're getting to know each other and going back and forth, I really can respect where each of them are coming from. And I just kind of like how this film showcases, it's like, hey, we're two black men in this racist society and we're all we got. Even though we may have our differences, we have to find some type of camaraderie between us and just realize that, if we stick together, we can achieve great things. And they did in this movie. And there are a lot of themes in this film that I can subscribe to in real life that was on the forefront of just make a way out of no way. Striverism. If you're angry, use that anger as fuel to get the job done, to accomplish your goal, but hide your anger, because you don't want to be a target. There is a lot of the master teaching the young grasshopper lessons in this movie, that you can take with you and apply to your own life. And that's just something else that I did appreciate with the direction of this film. Now, this is also a rated R film, and when I think about it, I don't really understand why it's rated R. I really don't remember any B words or F words. There wasn't any sex scenes or, people hanging from trees or anything like that. They use the word nigger now that I think about it a few times, so probably that's why it's rated R. But of course, yes, there's racism. That is the main obstacle, white supremacy, that these two heroes, in my opinion, had to overcome. And it's not too much that will make you uncomfortable, because some films can do that, like Detroit with John Boyega, and I think Anthony Mackie was in that as well. But it's enough to let you know, about the times and just kind of, what these men had to go through. I thought the pacing in this whole movie was smooth as butter. Yes, it is 2 hours, but that flew by. There are a number of montages in this film. I think like 37 of them. Okay, maybe not that many, but they really did keep the film upbeat and upgoing and flowing. And there was really never a dull moment in this entire production. And during all these montages, as they're trying to train Nicholas Hoult's character, Matt Steiner, to be a real estate agent, to become a bank manager or an owner of a bank, it was brilliant the way they're playing with calculations, the way they're playing with formulas and numbers, and having all the actors act in the movie and try to portray these roles that, they're really not. It was nice. It was humbling. it was a lot of things that I did not think that I would get out of a movie. And I'll just go ahead and add a little cherry on top. It was just kind of nice to see some brothers teaching the white man, bossing him around. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just really not the case too much in real life today, and also in films in Hollywood. But one of the main morals of the story for me is just at all times, do what you can as best as you can. I mean, yes, we all know that being black in this country, things are harder, especially if you're a woman, and they do address that, in this film. Now, those are all the things that I really did enjoy about the film, but there are a few takeaways, and let me just run through those real quick. One of them is, and I think it's just only one, is that I don't want to say that the film was rushed. And like I said just a moment ago, I like the pacing, but you can tell that there was a lot that was left out of the story. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but a good portion that was left out. I mean, the whole film pans from about 1931 till about the late 1960s, early 1970s. But right in the thick of it, there is about a 10-year gap. And I was enjoying everything. And I was just like, man, why did they jump forward so many years? I wanted to see everything that happened in between that time. Now, we can't have a 3 or 4 hour movie, but I was just so fascinated with the story and, just the guts that these men had. I wanted every nook, cranny, and detail. And unfortunately, that's just something that we couldn't get. And you can tell. And also, I feel that the film kind of just held back a little bit, and I'm not necessarily speaking about the racism. It's just that, I can tell that there was some true events, some true life elements that just wasn't included in this film. And, that kind of bugged me because I wanted to know more. But overall, guys, I really did enjoy this movie and I thought it was phenomenal. I think, this is a story that everyone should know and that everyone can learn from. If I had to rate The Banker out of a 1 out of 10, I would give this film an 8.5 out of 10. Yes, an 8.5 out of 10. But guys, let me know if you are a fan of Anthony Mackie. Please let me know down in the comments. What is your favorite role that he's ever fulfilled in Hollywood? I would really like to know. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. But guys, that is just my opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to reach 30,000 subscribers. You can also look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All that good stuff is right there at the bottom of your screen. And I made it very easy by providing links in the description box and the pinned comments. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for The Banker. And before you go, don't forget to always chase your dreams, because I'm chasing mine. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.